Welcome to the Novula Region, a fan-made region that I've been working on. This region is based loosely off the Pacific Northwest of the United States, which is where I live, as well as various other inspirations like North and Viking mythology, as well as just the cosmos. The Pacific Northwest is known for its gorgeous and diverse nature, from lush rainy forests to high deserts that are known to get incredibly hot, as well as extremely cold, so expect a lot of interesting diversity as we explore the various Pokemon found in this region. Novula already has some mythical Pokemon introduced, like my mascot Gallipup and its evolutions, which are explained in a previous video. So today, we're going to go over the starter Pokemon for this region. First up is the Grass Starter. Now the artwork for all of these was done by an artist named Trainer Rex, who you can find on Instagram. As we discussed what a possible grass starter would be for the region, I came up with the idea of having a bear, since it oftentimes has been seen as a protector of nature and of the forests. The first idea was making a bipedal bear, much like every other bear Pokemon, but I decided to go with a quadrupedal stance instead, as I absolutely love Ursaluna. Its various round body parts would give off the classic starter cuteness, and the leafy foliage would add to the Pokemon's grass typing, bringing us to Fulifer, the leafy cub Pokemon. In the many lush valleys and forests across the region, Fulifer are known to be gentle and playful. They enjoy nurturing smaller Pokemon and tending to plants in its area. These cubs tend to live in groups and often create wonderful gardens wherever they go, providing plenty of food for Pokemon and humans alike in the valleys where they live. They are often hard to spot due to their leafy fur, which provides the perfect camouflage for their favorite game, hide and seek. Careful though, as while they may be friendly, they can also be fierce when anyone messes with its pack or its gardens. I absolutely love how this little guy came out. He is so incredibly adorable, but with that attack stat of 80, he is a surprisingly powerful Pokemon. I also decided to go the route of autumn colors for the shiny, as I think that any grass Pokemon turning shades of orange, browns, and tans is absolutely perfect. Let me know what you guys think of the starters and which one you would choose as we go. Hey, did you hear? Hear what? Our wife got us an amazing new gift. Well, what was the gift? Well, a ring that looks like a little slice of space. Oh, wow, that's super cool. Where'd she get it? It's from Gentle Bands, today's video sponsor. Today's video sponsor is Gentle Bands, and my wife picked out an amazing ring for me, as it's my channel's 1-year anniversary. This epic tungsten opal ring looks just like a little slice of cosmic space, and it is perfect for remembering this special event. If you have a special someone you want to show your commitment to, or an event that needs to be remembered forever, now is the time to act, as using the code QJCosmic will get you 25% off your order. Gentle Bands has quality rings for any type of person and occasion, and with free engravings, free returns, and exchanges, as well as a lifetime warranty replacement, it is a deal too good to pass up. I absolutely love my ring, and what's super cool is they also have these chains that you can put it on, just in case you're out doing some work in the yard, or you have a job that requires use of your hands a lot. You can put it on your chain, you can put it around your neck, and you can keep it with you wherever you're going. I really love this brand, they're super cool, and it is a great deal right now, so use the link in the description to check them out, and it really helps out the channel. When thinking of the evolution, we decided to go with a somewhat bipedal stance, while the Pokemon would still mainly be quadrupedal. This would aid in showcasing the Pokemon's growth in size, but it was also a reference to how bears stand up on their back legs often to get a better view, or to fight more effectively with their front legs. This would be more useful for the Fulifer evolution as it evolves into Brambear, the forest peacekeeper Pokemon. While Brambear are clearly tougher, they are still kind and gentle Pokemon. They often live among groups of Fulifer for a time to make sure they are safe while acting as a guard or parent. With its newly acquired hard wooden armor on its front 2 paws, it is able to attack more fiercely, which is apparent when you look at its attack of 115. Brambear's tough claws can tear up trees and roots with ease, allowing it to build shelters for other Pokemon as it patrols its habitats diligently. I'm super happy with how Brambear's design came out. It still has some of the cute charm of its pre-evolution, but it now has a more confident and powerful look. I feel a common theme in middle stage starter Pokemon is the almost arrogant confidence they have, like Charmeleon, Dewott, Grovyle, just to name a few, and Brambear has exactly that. Obviously its name is simplistic, Bram as in brambles and bear cause it's a bear. For the final evolution, I wanted it to gain one thing: bulk. So back to the quadrupedal stance and the proportions inspired by Ursaluna. This evolution would need to capture the essence of what it means to be a bear while also carrying and building on the title Brambear had as Forest Peacekeeper. With that, I present to you Fabruin, the Forest Champion Pokemon. Fabruin have immense strength and physical power which aid in its purpose to defend any and all Pokemon in the forest. It has become one with nature to the point that it has developed the fairy typing, which I feel fits really well when you think about the various mythologies like Native Americans in the Pacific Northwest. There's always a connection between spirits and nature. Being the champion of the forest does not come easy, and as such, only the strongest and most noble Brambear can evolve into Fabruin. The design obviously builds on the same idea as the previous evolution, but makes it more bulky, which is why the attack stat didn't rise that much, while the other stats, especially the defenses, rose quite a bit. Fabruin's name also comes from the Dutch word for bear, bruin. Sorry if I mispronounced that, and fey, meaning fairy for its new type. I also love the idea that the flowers on its body produce a pheromone that encourages calmness in Pokemon around it. It also has powers to cause more crops to grow, making this Pokemon a sort of deity to the people and Pokemon alike when found in the wild. We also can't forget that its shiny continues the tradition of the autumn colors, which will never not look good. So what do you think so far? We have combined some of the most important parts of the Pacific Northwest together: bears and forests. Now it's time to check out the Fire Starter. For this Pokemon, I decided to use a creature that is popular in mythology that somehow just hasn't been used as a Pokemon: a griffin. Now how does that connect to the Pacific Northwest? Well, instead of using a lion as the back end of this griffin, I decided we'd use the colors and shape of a mountain lion instead, which is commonly found here. Then, instead of just the usual bald eagle, which I guess is often found here as well, I decided to use more gold in the palette to represent a golden eagle, which isn't really gold, it's brown, but I guess it does have a golden sheen to it, so regardless, it's symbolic. For the first stage, we also decided to make it wingless, so after creating the base body of a cub, refining it a little, we got Griffire, the ardent cub Pokemon. While Griffire are young, they enjoy playing in the dusty fields of the Novula's high deserts. They engage in mock battles against their peers to strengthen the flame on their collar. They're quick on their feet and almost impossible to catch unless they want to be caught. They haven't learned how to control the flames on its body yet, so they often set ablaze the brush around them, making them unwelcome near human cities. They also often burn their trainers on accident. Isn't Griffire just the most adorable thing? The playful pose works perfectly for their personality, and while the blue flames might be a little cliche for the shiny, I just couldn't help but make this Pokemon a beautiful white with bright blue flames. Even though they might burn me, I just want to give these guys a little hug. Griffire evolve in the wild by climbing up stony faces to join its evolutions, and will eventually leap into the sky to follow them, evolving mid-leap into Embergale, the regal blaze Pokemon. Embergale are loyal, confident, and regal Pokemon that have evolved to develop wings, allowing them to soar through the skies. They enjoy putting on shows with their aerial skills, causing the evening skies to light up with flames. With their flames now extended to their head, Embergale have begun to form a crown-shaped plume, and often hold their heads high in a noble and pompous manner, but they are often shy and reserved. If you look at their stats, you can see that they have gotten even faster, and with the ability Gale Wings and their new flying type, they become incredibly strong Pokemon to have on your team. It isn't the most drastic visual change in evolution, but a much needed one on its way to their final form. But before we show that, look at that shiny. I mean, black, white, and blue? Who doesn't love that? For its final evolution, Embergale must take to the skies, flying higher and higher until they practically disappear from view. They feel drawn to the sun, and the ones that get close enough evolve into Solarian, the Royal Griffin Pokemon. Solarian have finally gained full control of the flames on their body, allowing them to act as ride Pokemon for those it trusts, much like Rapidash. The flames also keep its riders warm, allowing Solarian to fly high through the sky at lightning speeds without needing to worry about its riders getting cold. While a decent physical fighter with its razor-sharp claws and beak, Solarian prefer to use their control of the elements to fight. Their speed makes them a fearsome rival in battle, and they are almost never seen in the wild due to living on the tops of rocky mountains or high desert plateaus where humans seldom go. If Solarian were real, I think he would be one of my favorite fire-type starters. The flaming wings and golden crown are amazing, and they both end up turning silver with the shiny. I think this entire line turned out phenomenally. It takes a well-known creature like a griffin and turns it into a believable Pokemon. Let me know where this starter sits in your favorite fire-type Pokemon. As for the final starter, I decided to take an animal that already has some Pokemon made after it, a beaver. Now I know, how is one supposed to improve on God himself, the Great Doof? Well, don't worry about that. The design is going a completely different direction. Plus, this beaver is only fitting since it is the state animal of Oregon, which is my home state in the Pacific Northwest. Originally, I wanted something cute, sitting on a large paddle-like tail. I decided it didn't really fit the starter motif of a cute but reliable Pokemon if I made its tail too large, so we opted to go with more normal proportions, and after some playing around with the stance, we got Aquadent, the warrior rodent Pokemon. Now you might be wondering what about this adorably cute, empty-headed little guy screams warrior, but that would be on its tail. For this evolution line, I wanted something special to mix into the Norse themes of the region, which have otherwise completely been absent from the starters so far. So with Aquadent, its tail has the Norse rune for victory, or the warrior rune. This rune plays a large part in the Pokemon's behavior as they are proud of it and what it symbolizes. For this region, they can be aggressive to those not a part of its colony. They are generally playful and curious when comfortable with those around it, and can often be found sharpening its teeth on trees and roots near the rivers and swamps it calls home. For its shiny, it becomes an orangish red, similar to much of the clay-dense mud found abundantly in the region it lives. I love how this came out, and its middle stage I think is the best of the starter trios. When thinking about how this little beaver would evolve, I knew it had to look tough. I made him bipedal, which might upset some of you, but it fits so well with the idea I had for the final evolution. And after polishing up the design, we came up with Muddleret, the resolute Pokemon. This Pokemon has fully mastered the art of terrain manipulation when building dams and redirecting waterways. This also shows in its newly acquired ground typing. With its larger body, it is able to easily move through the water as well as on land, possessing the confidence needed to keep its territory safe. This confidence is said to come from the rune on its tail, which is now changed into the rune for courage. Muddleret are known to be protectors of other aquatic Pokemon and will often be seen working in large teams to redirect entire rivers to increase the amount of wetlands in the area. They have been known to cause floods in cities and towns near water. Honestly, Muddleret is officially my new favorite middle stage starter Pokemon. I think its proportions work so well, it looks so strong, which is exactly what my 12-year-old self would have wanted in a starter Pokemon. Its shiny is now more of a natural brown color, which I think works really well with the reddish orange and blue accents. They might be slow stat-wise, but with their hidden ability Swift Swim, they're able to be incredibly effective battlers with high physical attack and well-rounded stats otherwise. When Muddleret grows strong enough, they eventually evolve into Castergeo, the bulwark beaver Pokemon. The name Castergeo comes from the genus of beavers, Castor, and Geo being the Greek word for earth to reflect its ground typing. With its powerful arms now coated in dense earthen armor, it is significantly more bulky than its pre-evolution. It has the ability to carve through solid rock and enjoys acting as a guardian or defender. This Pokemon will often claim towns to protect near rivers and lakes, and will act as a sentry to any of those that might mean it harm. This is all likely due to the shield rune on its tail, showing just how dedicated this Pokemon is to being a protector or shield. The rune on its tail and body gives off a bioluminescent glow, and this Pokemon will often be seen running to the aid of those that are weaker than it. Castergeo is an absolute tank of a Pokemon. With well-rounded stats and everything except speed, this Pokemon can take on the role of tank or special and physical attacker. I love how bulky he looks, leaning heavily into the idea that he is a guardian of a Pokemon. The shiny continues its previous brown and blue combo, but with a brighter blue we decided to go with a brighter red to really make it pop. I think it works really well to create one of the coolest shinies. Well, there you have it, the 3 starter Pokemon of the Novula region and their evolutions. I'm curious to know which one's your favorite. Who would you pick as a starter and why? I tried to give each of them unique roles to play in the region's lore as well as their own distinct personalities. If you want to see more of this region's project and the Pokemon we create in the future, make sure to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed, and as always, I will see you next time. Peace.